This is Dr. David D. Shine. Welcome to this edition of Saving America and our segment that we call In the News. And unfortunately, we continue to have a run of bad news. This is not surprising considering the administration in Washington and the situation in our Congress, but still it is disconcerting to deal with what seems to be almost endless and continuous bad news. We've got kind of an interesting double header to start off today's program with Biden's double losses, if you will, or double exposures. And it's just a rather incredible step. People need to understand that in 2017, when the Trump administration lowered taxes, this wasn't because they were a bunch of Republicans and just wanted to lower taxes to show people that they were Republicans. It was because America was losing an international battle for business. Other countries were charging lower corporate rates, and because of that, some of the US companies were actually switching their headquarters overseas. Money was being held overseas, and US competitiveness was declining. The Biden administration, in an effort to cover up the enormous waste and cost of these proposed social engineering programs, pure communism, if you ask me, is that they want to raise those rates back. What they don't understand is that will increase the deficit by reducing America's business and competitiveness. This is a bad move. And do you know what else? As China is fully on the move against the United States, it hands China a special victory after handing China a victory, and Russia and Iran, of course, in Afghanistan just in the last couple of weeks. America cannot tolerate this 1-2 punch to the gut from the Biden administration. We need to collectively, as taxpayers, as American citizens, whether we're affiliated with the Democrats, Republicans, or independents, or some other group, we need to let it be known this is not acceptable. One additional thing that I picked up on from this edition of In the News is a weird deal. The DC bar has reinstated Kevin Kleinsmith. He is about the only person punished due to the false narrative information provided to get the FISA warrant that triggered the investigation of Carter Page under the thing that many of us call Russiagate. As we know, this led to the totally ridiculous attempted impeachment #1 of Donald Trump. Totally ridiculous. And he has now been reinstated by DC bar. So he got a slap on the hand. He didn't do any jail time for filing a false email that the Department of Justice used. The background on this is that Carter Page was actually collecting information for the CIA about the Russians. Yes, he wasn't out there as a Russian intermediary to pump up the Trump administration. And I think if you just look at the Trump administration, I don't see any evidence that he and Putin were anything other than clear competitors for supremacy in the world that we need supremacy in. And it is indeed disturbing that this has been sugarcoated again by someone who's Democrat and getting Democrat protection. That's not equal protection under the law, folks. Violates fundamental American constitutional privileges. This is Dr. David Shine. This has been In the News from our Saving America series.